Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. As you can tell by the title and the thumbnail of this, I want to talk about how negative apparently YouTube has become. Yeah, it was one of those things this morning, when I was starting up my workday. I was drinking my coffee, just popped up some YouTube. Channel I follow, Greg Owen. It's an excellent channel. It's got a lot of stuff about real nerdy stuff like just books to movies and video games, all kinds of fun stuff like that. I highly recommend his channel. He takes an analytical view of things, and overall I really like it. But I was watching one of his videos today. It's a few months old. It's titled "Why YouTube is So Negative." The title of this one is "YouTube So Negative," and it's not so much a response video to his, because I agree with pretty much almost everything he said in it. But it got my wheels turning, and I kind of wanted to give my own take about it. But I have noticed in the last 2 months, my YouTube feed has generally started going negative. It's been suggesting to me people I'm not subscribed to, channels I'm not subscribed to, who take a really negative aspect on things, be it books or movies or video games or just general things that I happen to enjoy. And I'm just getting all these negative suggestions. And I know part of the YouTube algorithm is based off of your viewing habits. So, and I do watch a lot of gaming and entertainment stuff on YouTube, so I'm not at all surprised by this as far as getting recommended some of the stuff. But considering a lot of the channels I'm subscribed to are more of on a positive vein for gaming, movies, and various other interests I have, Warhammer 40K, things like that, Gundam. I'm starting to get a lot of negative, not even reviewer types, but people who take gaming, they focus on the negative. They don't really care to talk about the positive in gaming. They just focus on studios going belly up and commenting on things like that. And it was just a really weird thing. But like I said, watching Greg's video got the wheels spinning in my head. One thing he did talk about in his video was he was talking about another YouTuber, The Critical Drinker, who I do enjoy his channel quite a bit. I think he takes a very straight line, straight lace, straight going forward take on things. There's no fluff with him. He's going to tell you exactly what he thinks, and he's one of those people, even when he tends to be negative, I think he's actually speaking from the heart. He's not trying to grift anybody. He is just straight on, telling you what he thinks, especially because a lot of his videos are under 10 minutes. So that means there's no mid-roll ad. He only earns money off of if there's a beginning and an end ad. So generally speaking, the grifters usually try to hit that 12-minute mark to get that mid-roll ad in there. But yeah, so he picked the Drinker's channel to analyze for this, just because when he was looking through a bunch of different channels, he noticed that the Drinkers was pretty consistent as far as any positive videos or negative videos and how they performed. And plus, since the Drinker has a huge subscriber count, it's easier to gauge that. So when he was going through the videos, he showed that whenever the Drinker had a positive video, he was praising something, reviewing something and gave it a good review, or talked highly about something, he did about half the views as any video that would be slanted negative, giving something a poor review or just saying, yeah, this is bad, kind of thing like that. So it is, again, it's one example, but it's a pretty big example, and you can even go check out the Drinker's channel and you can see for yourself, because I did that before I started writing the script. I was just let me go take a quick look at that, and you do see it. Anytime the Drinker is talking positively about something, it gets about half the views. And when I say half the views, I'm talking about his negative, I don't want to say negative content because that sounds bad. His content, if he reviews something poorly, those get close to 1 million reviews every time. And anytime he says something good about something, there's a few outliers, mind you, but generally speaking, if he has a good review or says something good about something, it's about 500,000. And you can just go and look and you're just wow, that's just amazing. So like I said, got me thinking about YouTube, social media in general, as far as my own channel. Back when I started this channel in May of 2024, depends on when you're watching this. Hopefully you're watching it fairly soon, but if you're watching from far in the future, how's it going, future person? But I've had some decent growth. I'm not a major player in YouTube or anything like that. I'm mostly ignored. But we've had some decent growth, and I've done it trying to avoid any kind of negative topics. I can see the allure from creators. They want to get those views. They want to get their subscriber count out. And it just seems to be this way. If you talk negatively about a lot of things, you're going to get that. I've noticed it with a couple of my own videos. Back in November, I did a response video to a more popular YouTuber who was claiming that the Indiana Jones and the Great Circle was going to be woke. It was going to be terrible because the review embargo wasn't lifting until like hours before the actual release of the early access release of the game. It was 3 or 4 days before the actual release of the video game. Now, my video wasn't negative. I did have kind of a clickbaity title in it. I don't particularly like doing that, but sometimes you do got to increase those views. So trying to get people to watch your video, whether they want to slander you or whatever. And I did get a mix of people coming in who like agreed with that video, saying, "Oh, it's going to be woke. It's going to be woke. Machine Games is making a woke game." But I had other people who said like, it hasn't even come out yet. The reviewers haven't even like shown it yet. Like nothing in the trailer or anything like that says it's woke. So I had a good mix of people coming in and decent conversation going. Some people immediately commented without watching the video, and I was like, go back and watch the video because that's not what I said. And they would go back and watch the video and like, oh, okay, I apologize. Yeah, you did bring up some good points. But because I was tackling woke and things like that, I put that time something's claiming something's woke, especially in a negative light, to me, I put that in the negative category. It's a negative video, and that performed well. On a little lighter side, when I did my video about why I quit collecting action figures, that did phenomenal numbers also. And I was like, okay, I hit a little groove with collecting. I mean, that's what this channel is about. It's about video games. It's about toy collecting. It's about just nerd shit in general. So I thought to myself, okay, I'll make like a sequel to that video, why I started collecting video games. And I was like, that'll do good numbers. The video game community here on YouTube is pretty big. And I don't even think it did half the numbers of the why I quit collecting video. And I think in a sense, it's one of those, I think maybe some people clicked on it. Like a lot of people clicked and commented, shared about their love of action figure collecting and maybe why they got out of collecting. Like they literally, they Pokemon'd it. They got it. They caught them all, or at least caught all what they were trying to collect in a sense. Kind of for me too. It's like, there's nothing really coming out that I really love, but like, because I kind of associate, I quit with kind of a negative thing. Cause if you notice, there'll be a lot of clickbaity YouTube videos. I'm quitting YouTube, or I quit doing it. And those tend to get a lot of views by people. And the person's not really quitting YouTube or anything like that. I was serious about quitting collecting figures though. I mean, I'm still going to have figures. I'm not selling them all off, but I did sell off a good chunk. A lot of them not on camera because they're like over there and over there that you can't see. And I don't plan on buying too many more. Like I said in the video, I'll buy cool ones here and there, but not really going to buy video figures like I used to. But that video did really well. And then, the sequel video of why I started collecting did not do nearly as well. I got some good comments, got some good likes on it, but it didn't do the same numbers. And I do kind of associate that with, it's a positive, and the negative one got a lot of people to view it. So it's just kind of one of those things. So it's kind of like, what can we extrapolate from all of this talk? It's like, first and foremost, I think misery loves company. I mean, I'm guilty of this as well. If I play a game, get a figure, watch a movie, watch a show that I don't particularly like or that really disappoints me, I'll then go to, I'll look up reviews on that, and I'll start with the reviewers I trust, whether it be, like Bruce and Lawrence at Inside Games, or, The Drinkers, a reviewer I like. I think me and The Drinker kind of like the same movies in a sense, like just from what he reviews and he likes and what he reviews and he doesn't like. Generally speaking, we like a lot of the same stuff. Same with like Jeremy Johns. Jeremy Johns and I, as far as like movie taste could be like movie taste brothers, because I think anything that he's reviewed that I've seen, I've yet to disagree with him. So like, I'll go to these reviewers, or Red Letter Media is another one, or Gamer Ranks, something like that, and I will watch their video reviews on the game or the show or the movie, and kind of, not necessarily, it's almost like a confirmation bias. Like, I just want to make sure I'm not wrong about my taste in something, which you can never be wrong with your taste, just to speak. But I do like to hear my complaints voiced from someone who has a larger audience. And I think a lot of people like that too. So I think a lot of people, when it will come to like a game they dislike or a movie they dislike, they'll watch a reviewer trash that movie or talk badly about that movie. Because you do want that confirmation bias. I mean, we all, as much as I like to think I'm immune to it, there are times that I want to hear that my opinion is shared by other people, kind of thing. So I think that's part of it. And that's not necessarily all the negative stuff that gets suggested to me on YouTube that I see when I go on the hellscape that is X/Twitter nowadays. And I really only use Twitter. I literally use Twitter for three things these days. I use it for notifications from toy collectors and video game people about sales and things like that to check out. And then I use it for sports. Like that's my own personal sports ticker to hear about injuries for fantasy or like news on my own team, kind of thing like that. I rarely ever engage with anything in social media anymore. Like I'll post my videos on there sometimes, but it's kind of funny. I used to have a huge following on Twitter because I used to write for Bleacher Report. And those people, a lot of them have stopped following me since I, left the world of writing for professional sports and switched to video games and toys. But so I don't even post that much here, but it is at Nintendo64 if you ever want to follow me there. But the point is, it's kind of like I try to avoid the negative stuff, like negative chatter, like bad reviews. That's one thing, but like the people who are constantly just looking for something negative, like we talked about on this channel, and it did good reviews. we talked about The Witcher 4 and what is that new Naughty Dog game, Intergalactic, and just how people just based on these cinematic trailers just found all kinds of things wrong with it, and part of that wrong thing is being a woman lead. And my thing with video games have always been, I don't care too much about the story. I prefer my characters to look cool, but that's not the be all end all. But I want a fun game to play, and if I get that, generally speaking, I'm happy. If the character looks cool, that's a bonus. If the story's really good, even bigger bonus. But yeah, like these negative channels, what I was talking about, especially like the one that I was talking about who like was bashing Indiana Jones before it even came out. They just kind of look for those things. They look for something to rage bait people, and they look for something that far end of the community, because it happens. Cause I'm kind of focusing on the left right now because that's a lot of the shit that gets suggested to me for some reason. But on the left side too, like the people who were pro Sarkeesian I can't remember her name. I tried to avoid. I read up on Gamergate when it was happening, and I was like, I don't want any part of this. But Anna Sarkeesian, I think was her name. But yeah, so like it happens on that side too, where they'll bash a game like Warhammer 40K because it's big giant space marines killing aliens. Which, in a sense, like I don't understand how you could bash that kind of game, because it's not like it's big giant American Marines like going south of the border to Mexico and kill a bunch of Mexicans. That would probably raise some red flags. But no, it's a Space Marine thing. It's based off of a tabletop game that Henry Cavill loves. And how can you hate something Henry Cavill loves? So it happens on that side too. Like they'll look for something negative in a game. It's too macho. It's too toxic masculinity, which in my thought process, I think the phrase toxic masculinity is just as stupid as woke, because men being men is not a problem. Men being manly and masculine is not a problem. It's when the problem becomes when men mistreat lesser people than them. Like if you're a big, strong dude and you're treating weaker people, if you're pushing around women, if you're beating your kids, that to me is toxic masculinity. But a man liking manly things like sports and working out and knocking back a Monster Energy drink and playing video games, like video games that involve big muscles and big explosions, that's not toxic masculinity. And that kind of mindset, just along with these people on the right saying anything with a female lead is woke, that mindset's got to go. But those toxic things get views and they get clicks because they speak to both ends who are mad and they don't know why they're mad. I think is like the overall big problem with everything. Like everyone's angry about something because, to quote the poet CM Punk, they need to go touch some grass, which that is starting to get overused too. But it's like unplug, get off social media, go do stuff you enjoy doing. And that's why, again, my Twitter is filled with video games, action figures, NFL football, Major League Baseball, NHL hockey. Sorry, NBA, you lost me when Michael Jordan retired. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because all we do is 3-point shooting now and we don't have awesome dunks. I mean, I even still watched highlights with like Vince Carter and things like that and Gilbert Arenas. Gilbert Arenas leaving the Wizards is about when I checked out of basketball. But yeah, it's filled with sports, action figures, and those can get negative, but for the most part, I try to mute or block any negative, things, and I try to curate my following just to more fun stuff. So I think that's what most people need to do, is just enjoy fun things, enjoy things you enjoy doing, like play video games because you like video games. So does that mean I want my channel to grow in that sense? Like, am I going to start making negative videos or more negative videos? No, that is not happening with this channel. The mission statement of this channel from the beginning was that we were going to be a positive corner of the internet. It was inspired by Arnold Schwarzenegger's newsletter that he started last year. And along with pre-shunning of Biggie, The New Day, we are going with the power of positivity on this channel. And I mean, I'm fortunate enough that I have a good day job that allows me to work remotely all the time. So instead of commuting for 2 hours to work and commuting 2 hours home, I can use that 4 hours to make videos. I can use that time to write scripts and come up with ideas for videos and things like that, edit videos. Plus, I'm a night owl, so I stay up late anyways. And also, I don't have to get up super early to go to work, so I can stay up later to work on videos. So I'm fortunate that I do have that, so I can make videos as a hobby. It's not something... I've said this many times. It's not something that I want to be my career. I do it for fun, and any little bit that I earn here is going to get put right back into the channel. So what does that mean? It means I get to make the videos I want to make, for one. And also, when we build this community and we're more popular and things like that, it means I can also curate videos towards your taste. Like if I do a video... I'm blanking on things. I should have wrote that down in the script. But, if I do a video like deep diving into games, like telling you the history of a video game series or something like that, and that performs really well, it's like, well, guess what? The audience likes that. I like doing stuff like that. We're going to do more of that. If I happen to stream a particular game series or something like that, and that does good numbers, well, guess what? We're going to do that too. It means I don't have to chase the algorithm. I don't have to chase and do videos that I particularly don't want to do and that you particularly don't want to see as my audience. So... it gives me the freedom to do that because it's not my source of income. I can do things for fun. I don't want to call myself an artist because that sounds pretentious, but I can be an artist. I don't have to worry about what the trends are. I can do the things that I like, which is what I kind of want to do, which is why I started this channel. That's why I started Clash of the Nerds with my buddy Nelson several years ago, because we wanted to do a podcast, and where it didn't do great on YouTube, we did well on the audio podcast places, things like that, because it was something we wanted to do. It wasn't something that our income was decided on. So we talked about the topics we wanted to talk about. We would talk about popular topics too. We're not dumb. We do want to try to bring in a new audience who maybe will like what we said. And that's what I'll do here too. I mean, I will do stuff sometimes every once in a while outside the norm, just to maybe try to attract some other people, but it will always be the spirit of the channel if I do something that's not normal, like this video where I'm kind of referencing video games, entertainment, stuff like that, but and more or less it's addressing the overall negativity that has like infested this channel. So I hope you enjoyed this little TED Talk of mine, but I did want to leave you with some positive channels to watch as well, some channels that I like. And did I leave that in the script? I don't think I did, because I'm talking from the heart right now. No, I didn't put that in the script. I meant to. But I do have some channels off the top of my head. One that I have on right now that's muted is 4am Laundry. Great YouTuber, also Twitch streamer. I love his stuff. I've talked to him a couple times online. But he does video game secondhand shopping in Japan. He goes all over Japan, not just like Akihabara and Tokyo, places like that, but he goes to the prefectures that no one's even heard of. Even a weeb like me, I'm like, I've never heard of that town, and I've been to a lot of places in Japan. So it's really cool to see that, and also it makes me miss Japan so much. I'm going to keep going on Japanese YouTubers trend right now. Premier 2, I mentioned him in my last video, Pete. He's my age. He streams mostly, but one thing I love, he'll do some like nerdy shopping IRL stuff, but I love it when he does like pub crawls IRL. Because one thing, other than video game shopping, I love doing in Japan, I love going to the different bars and the Golden Guys and things like that, and just because everyone's so friendly, you drink pretty inexpensively as compared to here in America. And it's just always fun seeing Pete do that because Pete's one of those guys. He makes friends wherever he goes. So that's one of the funniest things about his IRL streams. When he's at a pub or something like that, he makes friends with like everybody at the bar. And that just always kind of cracks me up. Pete, super positive. Premiere 2, give that a follow. This is the last Japanese YouTuber, but Abroad in Japan, Chris Broad. His channel, it's one of the, it kind of gives you a history. He takes you on tours. He does documentaries. His channel's great. It's very positive. And whenever he responds to like negative comments, he always does it in this snarky British tone, which is hilarious. So those 3 good Japanese channels. If you're into video games, Japan, stuff like that, give that a follow. Greg Owen, who I already mentioned, has a very good YouTube channel, Clash of the Nerds. If you want to give my old channel a follow, we don't do anything on that anymore. It's there though. To give it a follow. Tom Grossi. He does football stuff, a lot of Packer stuff, but he does stuff for other football teams. When he depicts my Washington Commanders, he does it in this character called Wildflower, who's just this high-ass hippie, and it cracks me up. And I can only think that the origin for that character was the 30 years under Dan Snyder owning the team, and you just wanted to be drunk or high the entire time because that's the only way to deal with the pain of how bad that franchise was. That's Good Sports, Braden Perna. He focuses on the Broncos, but he does a lot of in-depth, hilarious sports videos. And I don't want to be negative with that. It's kind of like it's one of those things like he's made me like his love for the Broncos has kind of made me pull for the Broncos. They're not like one of my teams, but it's like a love-hate with the Broncos. Because his best videos are when the Broncos lose and he's in this despair when he's recapping their game for the week. Those are always the funniest. But Brandon is such a funny, seemingly nice YouTuber. I say seemingly only because I don't know any of these people personally, so I'm not going to vouch for their character. But he seems like a great guy. And so I want him to be happy. I want his team to win for him. But as a viewer, I want them to lose in the most embarrassing fashion because that's when he makes his best content, I think. It's hilarious when he does that. So, yeah, that Good Sports. Give him a follow. He's trying to get to... what is he at? He's trying to get to 800,000 subscribers before the end of the football season. He's like 766,000. So he's got 13,000 to go. Let's beat him. I need 645 to beat him. So let's get that subscriber number up so I can beat Brandon Perna before the end of the football season. I think he's going to beat me. But those are just just like off the top of my head. Gamer Ranks, if you want some video game stuff, they always do fun stuff. Falcon and Jake Baldino. Jake's got his own channel too. Very positive video game channel over there. I mentioned Jeremy Johns, reviewer. He's always super positive. Even when he's reviewing a terrible movie, he's super positive. Like he was the one, before I started watching The Acolyte. Well, I didn't watch The Acolyte. I was like, there's a lot of identity politics battlegrounds with The Acolyte right now. It seems like the people who are praising it are for that kind of thing, and the people who are hating it are for the opposite. So I was like, Jeremy never gets political with his reviews. He just reviews stuff for if it's a good entertainment thing. So I watched his review. He basically said The Acolyte at best is boring. So I was like, all right, easy pass for me. I don't want to watch boring Star Wars kind of thing. So again, another positive YouTuber out there. So I just suggest curate your feeds, curate your social media, be more positive if you want positive things, which is what I want in life. I want to be happy. I want to have fun. I want to do all those cool things in the world. So yeah, thank you for checking out this video. If you made it this far, don't forget to like if you're new here. If you want to give me a subscription, that's awesome too. We're trying to get to 500. Actually, I'm trying to get to 350 right now. We're at 347 as of making this video. I know, very low count, but I want to get to 500 because that's when I can start getting super chats and start earning some money for the channel, put it back into the channel. Once we get to 1,000, that's when I start getting ad revenue, which annoys me because some of my well-viewed videos, those have ads, and I have no choice at it because if I'm not getting any money, I would disable ads. They don't let you do that anymore. So it would be nice if I start making money off the ads they run on my channel. Oh, excuse me, kind of thing. But I do appreciate the view. If you want to comment, I I would say if you want to comment, because I don't really ask any questions in here, I would say leave a positive comment. It doesn't even have to be about me, just a positive comment. You can say to another YouTuber, hey, I like your channel, and give me some suggestions to positive YouTubers. I prefer video games, movies, action figures, kind of thing like that. Oh, one more on the positive YouTubers. Robo don't know. He used to be with the Foosh. I don't know his real name. He just goes by Robo in his videos. Super positive dude. Even when Robo is the best. I think he is like the ultimate positive YouTuber. Like, I would say him and Pete are the two ultimate positive YouTubers. Even when like negative things happen in their videos, they're always positive about it. So Robo don't know. Also follow him, kind of thing like that. So yeah, say something positive. Like I said, it doesn't have to be about me. You can just say something positive about anybody or anything. Share some of your favorite positive YouTubers. That way I can curate my feed even more. And yeah, have a great rest of your day. And I'm going to be playing some Alan Wake tonight, which you won't know because that's past me playing Alan Wake, even though it's future me right now because I'm doing the video. Where one of those time is a construct kind of things like that. But I am playing through Alan Wake Remaster right now, so I will be streaming that almost daily, kind of thing like that. So check it out if you want to. I'm on Twitch, I'm on YouTube, Nintendo 64. Love you guys. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.